afternoon. Last time I was here, I had some crazy stuff going on with my eyes, and I've had some crazier stuff going on with my eyes. It's really hot today, but I've just been going a little bit nutty sitting inside. Gonna take it a little bit easy, but want to get some weeding done. Love to just share a little bit about what's going on with my eyesight. Really just do a little bit of what we can today. Really not that much. Not that much at all. Overall, I have been so happy with how everything has been coming up. We've actually gotten bigger cucumbers than we have in the past, which is really cool to see. I've been having Eric really help with keeping things lined up and growing up. I really can't see a lot. If you want to hear more about that in this video, then stay tuned and I will share a little more. So I want to get to some of the weeds because I know when some of my eyesight starts to come back, I don't want to be overwhelmed with the amount of work that I haven't been able to do. Let's talk a little bit about what I'm going through right now. Last Monday, I had a Kenalog injection. So Kenalog is a form of steroid. I have chronic uveitis, so it's pan uveitis. It affects both of my eyes, and I have had uveitis since I was 15 years old. I'll now be very far away from 15, but I have had it for quite a while now. Now I have managed my uveitis for so long that it's really just routine at this point. I really know a lot of things that I can do on my own to really keep the inflammation down, but it also takes proactive care, just really careful planning with your medical care to be able to manage the disease when it does affect you long term. For a number of years, I was on Social Security disability and Medicare because I could not work. I was legally blind. I did have cataract surgery, which helped. I did have to wait a while too to get cataract surgery. The inflammation just kept coming back, and you can't operate on an eye that has inflammation. I'd say around 2019 or so, I started to see a little more stabilization. It's on and off going through a lot of like, why me? Why do I have this? Why do I have to deal with this? I've had an intense amount of therapy. I'm on, medications that really help me to gain some perspective. I think that's really important, really, for anybody, especially for somebody who's going through something really difficult. You need an outside perspective, and you really need help. It's very difficult to do it alone. That's my rant about therapy. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. No one cares what I'm doing, what I'm saying. It makes no sense. No one cares. No one cares. I swear, I have a point. I really do. I don't know. I've watched so many of these videos. People seem to just ramble on about things that are irrelevant. I'm not trying to do that. The whole point of this, there is no point. There's no point. I don't know why it happened to me. I didn't do anything. I used to engage in all the stuff about like, oh, what am I eating? What am I drinking? What am I blah, 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 filling my mind with? Like all of this alternative medicine stuff, which just a huge waste of time and money. As soon as I talk to people about my condition, the first thing is to say, oh, you should go and see my person. I have a person for this. I have a supplement for that. You know what you should do. I don't like talking about it because I've tried all of that. When you're dealing with something that is threatening your eyesight, you need to move a little faster than hoping what the next functional medicine guru is going to tell you. If you found this video and you're in that place, like don't feel bad about that. You need to take your medical care very seriously. And there have been times when I have tolerated not getting results, hoping that something I would take was going to work. You don't have that time. It's okay to trust in doctors and trust in the systems that have been established. Like, I don't believe that big pharma is out to get you. Do I wish that there were many things different about it? Yes. Have I been denied medical care because of insurance issue? All the time. A big reason I'm in this situation right now is because I couldn't get the medicine that would have kept my condition contained. I guess I could say, like, I could spend a lot of time getting mad about things that are just completely out of my control, or I can continue to take action toward healing and being good to myself and doing things that bring me joy, which right now is weeding. It feels so nice to get out here and put my hands on the ground right now. So how did I get here? So let's go back just a little tiny bit. I can't see out of my left eye. I am legally blind out of the left eye. I have a macular hole. It cannot be operated on. When I was 19 years old, I was seeing a doctor who is a very, very well-known doctor at Bascom Palmer Eye Institute in West Palm Beach, and she was incredibly abrasive with me, demanded that if my dad doesn't pay $10,000 for me to have a surgery, then I'm going to lose my eyesight. And that's what happened in that eye. She didn't do the right thing. Obviously, I have a macular hole that cannot be operated on. I've asked my doctors over the decades. I think that there might be technology in my lifetime still where I might be able to have something done, but I don't have any central vision in the left eye. My right eye has thankfully gotten to the point of being 20/20, especially after cataract surgery years back. It's always been my strong eye. Ooh, it is hot out here. I'm just moving slowly. I've been in bed for what feels like days. I have Kenalog injections performed to control inflammation, and I have these done because my insurance won't cover the long-term medications that I need. I used to be on infusions. Insurance won't cover that. I used to be on injections. Insurance won't cover that. The US medical system, it's as messed up as everybody says it is. It's actually horrific that you will literally suffer because a company says that they can't give you medication that you pay for your insurance. You can't get what you pay for when you need it most. So I'm not going to get into that. As a workaround, I've been having Kenalog injections performed. That is injected with a very small needle. I've had different types of steroid injections, by the way. I've had Ozurdex, which shoots a capsule into your eye. I actually really like the Ozurdex. Ozurdex is one of the more expensive options, so I get the Kenalog. Everything was fine, seemed normal. I had the injection on Monday, June 2nd, and by Sunday night, something was weird. I could not see. I was zooming in as much as I could to my devices. I had my screen inverted. I couldn't see. I haven't had kind of an eye emergency like that it's been years. The last time I had that was actually after a different type of steroid injection. I got a lot of sparklies in my view. Pressure in my right eye had gone up to 52, and I ended up needing an emergency iridotomy where they poke holes in your iris to alleviate the pressure. So I haven't had a major emergency since then. Ooh, it is going to rain again today. We have had so much rain, and I think that's so funny because I put the drip system in and made such a big deal about the drip system, and I have had it off for honestly, like the past 2 weeks, it's been off. Oh, everything in here just smells so absolutely beautiful. So I had work Monday morning. Didn't have the best vision for driving. I really wasn't worried about it. It's just like, all right, let me just see. I'm going to work. Call my doctor. No big deal. I go into the office and I can't see my computer screen. I have a giant curved monitor. Excuse me, what are you eating? Get out of here, baby Lou. Come on, you need to go have some more agua. It's too hot. Man, there's so much weeds. So many. It's good to do this though. I have a giant curved computer monitor, and even with all of my settings, which I do leave my settings for accessibility, like inverted screen so I can see text easier. I have contrast settings on, so I really know how to modify my devices for my eyesight and really take advantage of all the settings that are available for things like that. I couldn't see to do my work. Called my eye doctor. Thank goodness they were able to get me in same day. I call my husband and I ask him if he can take me to my eye doctor's appointment because I don't want to drive. I'm realizing, all right, this might be serious. Probably best that I don't drive. Let me not push it. Let me ask Eric for support. So he does. All right, we go see the doctor. He sits back and he tells me right away, okay, we can go about this a few different ways, but ultimately what he recommends is that I have emergency surgery in 2 days. At this point, my vision is noticeably declining. It's noticeably getting worse in the right eye. What I described it as is it looks like a curtain that's closing, and I was left with just a sliver of light. So he told me that from what he could see, because he couldn't really see into the eye, there was so much hazing in my vitreous, I have to have a vitrectomy to reattach my retina. And essentially, he can't exactly see what's going on because there is so much hazing, so he's not sure where the retina is detached. Now, this is all happening in my good eye, so I've got no vision. I have very limited vision, I should say. I don't think I've ever appreciated the vision I've had in my left eye so much, and that's really saying a lot. It was a bit of a whirlwind. I get told that I have to have surgery. I'm thinking that I'm going to go back to work for the afternoon, or really he's just going to give me antibiotic drops. I'm just going to wait a few days. Now I'm filing for medical leave. I'm trying to keep my coworkers, my colleagues, my boss, everybody informed about what's going on with me while really just taking care of myself at the same time. I went in for surgery on Wednesday, and really the scariest part about all of this is that he did tell me, my surgeon, my doctor did tell me, if I start to see that darkness come into contact with the center of the eye, to call him on Tuesday. My surgery was scheduled for Wednesday afternoon, but to call him Tuesday if I see that happening. And I asked physician's assistant, oh, well, is he in the OR on Tuesdays? And his PA says no, but this is that serious that he'll clear his schedule to operate if that moves into the center of your eye. It would have risked my central vision or not being able to regain my central vision. So all day Tuesday, I'm incredibly paranoid, and I'm seeing the curtain close more and more. I'm like, does this constitute as it moving into the center? Like, it's not in the center, but the shadow is getting bigger. Wednesday, it was almost completely closed except for just like a slit of light. I went in for my surgery on Wednesday. It did take him 2 hours to perform the vitrectomy. With all of the inflammation and all of the things that I've had going on in my eyes, my vitreous, he actually had to peel it away from the back of the eye. It's supposed to be a jelly, but he had to peel mine off. So it did take him a lot more work and time, dedication to really get in there and peel the layers. They take all your vitreous out. He inserted a gas bubble after 2 hours and some really amazing night medicine. I went home. I was required to stay face down for at least the first 24 hours after surgery. I had to ride home in the back seat with my head down. The nurse, they were just amazing. They really helped me kind of get the right configuration going. My husband is just, I couldn't have done this without him. I could not. That's ultimately what matters in life. Um, I honestly could not have gotten through those first few days without my husband, without the people who were calling and checking on me. And so crazy to think about. Almost a week ago, I haven't gotten any vision back in the right eye. I'm not expecting to. I have a gas bubble in the right eye, and I won't get any vision back, or I probably won't start seeing improvement in the right eye until the gas bubble it dissipate after a few weeks. He says maybe about 2.5 weeks before I start to notice I'll get some vision back. And he says eventually I'll be able to see over the bubble, so that sounds pretty interesting. What's happening was very unexpected. In just all the things I've been through with my eyesight, I never expected to have a detached retina, to have a vitrectomy. You get so used to just having one of your senses, you don't consider, even when it is threatened, I've never considered the possibility of truly losing it. Even when I lost it, like the cataracts, very operable. This was different. I think I've never been more terrified of anything in my whole life. What kicks in for me when I go through difficult things is just resilience. I've always been a very, very resilient person. I have since, gotten a giant magnifying glass that I can kind of view my screen with. I've learned some really cool new accessibility features. I'm actually studying right now for my PMP exam, my project management professional. I was just approved to take the exam about a month ago. I discovered the speak content feature on iOS, and that has been reading my material to me. I've been able to continue watching my videos, having my husband help me with practice exams, so I've been able to use a lot of the time to study for that. This has been one of the scariest things I've ever been through. There was no real reason given for why I had the reaction that I did to the Kenalog. I think that just it was a perfect storm. It was the perfect conditions. My eyes have been through so absolutely much, and I've really started to treat it like it was such a routine thing just to get steroid injections in my eyes, which is crazy to think about. Like your normal becomes so skewed. So look at those little babies. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. It's just a heavy level of acceptance right now. Not feeling sorry for myself, but also being disappointed at the same time. Feeling like kind of so clear on where you're going that I don't know. I don't want to go down some philosophical rabbit hole with myself about it. Lord knows I'm capable of doing that. That doesn't belong there. That's not a carote. I'm looking forward to doing the carrots a lot better next year. Kind of smells like hamburgers. It's really cool to see the little squash growing up. That is cool. I've never had squash. That is so freaking cool. And keeping some of the leaves controlled and that doesn't rot. I just want to, be able to share the journey of creating a garden like this. Quite often when I watch gardening content, it feels like I'm watching decades of something having been established, and it just always kind of seems like everybody knows exactly what to do. And I would just like you to subscribe if you would like to get a little more of kind of what it looks like to build something and not already go into this whole process having something established. So if you enjoy watching, definitely like the video, subscribe, because I got a lot more videos to post this season. Really looking forward to getting my eyesight back, doing a couple of bigger projects on the channel, such as a greenhouse build and potentially a deck build in the near future. But first and foremost, using this time to really heal. Really, if you made it here to the end of the video, thanks for thanks for coming along. And if you haven't watched last video about my love letter to my garden, it was a very special one. Take you through what the garden looked like just four years ago. Ooh, 4 years ago. All right, so I better go inside because it's gonna start storming soon. So thank you very much.